Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. And I'm so excited today because they dropped the Sunrise on the Reaping trailer. Sunrise on the Reaping is the newest Hunger Games book. It's Haymitch's story. And they dropped the trailer for the new movie that's coming out around this time next year. It's November of 2026. And I'm so excited. You guys loved my frame-by-frame analysis of the Wicked for Good trailer, so I thought it would be fun to do it again. I have not seen this trailer at all, so I thought we could do one shot through where I'm just kind of blind reacting to the trailer, and then we can go frame by frame and get into all the details. Spoiler warning though, if you have not read the Sunrise on the Reaping book and you do not want some of the plot spoiled, I am going to be openly talking about the plot of the book, only because it's kind of no fun to do this if I can't just speak openly about what we know about the plot from the book. So if this isn't going to be the video for you as a result, then I completely understand. And we'll see you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. And for everybody else who's sticking around, if you wanted to like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. I also have a Patreon where the patrons pick the book I analyze every month, so if that sounds interesting to you, I will link it in the description. So with that, let's just dive into the blind reaction. I am gonna be pausing it because I'm a little worried about copyright. And if you're watching this and there's no audio on the trailer, then it's possible I had problems with copyright. We'll see how YouTube reacts to me doing this. Okay, so this is Drusilla for sure. Oh my god, she looks so freaky. Oh my god, look how freaky she looks.
Welcome, Panem, to the glorious reaping of District 12.
Oh god, she looks so freaky! Oh, look at her face! Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, that's perfect for her. This character sucks. We hate her. I'm seeing a lot of yellow amongst the capital people. I wonder if that's gonna be a thing. Lionsgate, okay. All right, what's this?
Twice the number of tributes.
Oh, is that the arena? Oh, wow, that's beautiful. And you know what? We have heard that Haymitch's games, that the arena was stunning. I forgot about that detail, but now that I've seen this, part of the whole point of the brutality of it is the arena itself is gorgeous to look at, but basically everything's deadly and the tributes have to be very careful. Oh, am I not recording my desktop audio? Okay, I fixed it, so you should be able to hear it now.
Twice the glory.
Okay, a lot of color in the tributes outfits, which we didn't see. In the original Hunger Games movies, they don't really have a lot of color in their outfits, if my memory serves. I mean, I paused it at a bad time. This is black, but you can see this one looks like green almost. See this? We can see there's like color in their outfits, maybe based off of what district they're from. I wonder if they filmed this like in a location that looks like that. That seems like it'd be very cool and very difficult to do at the same time. I wonder how they filmed this. Anyway, I think that's really interesting because this takes place between the events of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and the events of the original trilogy. And in the original trilogy, everything is super seamless and the tributes are actually treated really well and they're treated almost like martyrs. Whereas in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, we see how there's still a lot of anger from the capital at the districts for the dark days. So in those days, the Hunger Games was viewed more as a punishment, whereas when the original trilogy rolls around, a lot of the capital citizens view the Hunger Games as a necessary evil almost. We see this stark difference between that 10th Hunger Games and the 75th Hunger Games and the way the tributes are treated and the way the games are thought of. And in that first one, they're not really given any luxuries. The tributes are put in cattle cars. They're barely given any food before the games, and they aren't given any clothing or anything, so they're just wearing what they wore when they got reaped. So they're gonna have the challenge of making it clear with some of these setting things that this games is in between those two. And at the end of my book, there was a Q&A with Suzanne Collins where she talked a lot about Effie versus Drusilla. Drusilla is like the Effie of this book, but at some point she actually gets replaced with Effie, and Drusilla remembers the dark days and she really hates the districts as a result, but Effie was born after the dark days and has only ever known the Hunger Games as, again, a necessary evil to keep peace in Panem. There's certain stuff like that that she put into the book to show the transition from the 10th Hunger Games to that 75th one and how it changed over time. And so I wonder if some of this costuming stuff as well, like clearly they were given outfits, but they don't look that high tech. I wonder what else they're gonna do setting wise to just subtly show that we're in between that 10th Hunger Games and that 75th, or 74th, I guess is Katniss's first one.
Twice the glory.
I bet that's Ampert. I bet that's Ampert and I'm gonna cry my eyes out. Ah, there he is. There he is. It's Haymitch. He looks kind of like Snow, doesn't he? Right? Like he kind of looks like him, right? I know that they have to make him moderately look like Woody Harrelson. I almost said Woody Allen. Woody Harrelson, who played Haymitch in the original trilogy movies. So he needed to have blonde hair and blue eyes. But even the way they did his hair, I don't know. I think it looks relatively similar. I think that's interesting. I wonder if there's gonna be something in that.
It's time for the second quarter.
Oh, he's handsome. Okay, that's weird. That's very 70s inspired. Like the costuming, I mean, that shirt and his hair together feels very 70s to me. Okay, I bet that's, oh, what's her name? Maisley. I bet that's Maisley. They cast a girl that kind of looks like Rachel Zegler maybe to play Lenore Dove. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna stop pausing it every time. Maybe that's Maisley, actually. Oh, this is sick.
Let the 50th Hunger Games begin!
Okay, so I told you guys that I hadn't watched this and I'd avoided everything anyone had said about it, except for one tiny thing I saw someone say, which is how I found out that they dropped the teaser trailer. And it was someone complaining that they've already shown that they're changing things because Haymitch runs towards the cornucopia and in the book he runs away. They're making a film. The film needs to have action sequences. When you're adapting a book to the screen, it's a different medium. So you're gonna have to make changes to make it fit the medium better. And if Haymitch just runs away, that's significantly less dramatic than him running towards the cornucopia, obviously. And so I don't really mind stuff like this, although I will say that Haymitch is supposed to really mirror Katniss, and Katniss does run away from the cornucopia as well. And so maybe you could say it's a little bit disappointing for that reason, because they're really supposed to be parallels to each other, and that was one of the things that was similar about their story. I'm just saying, I don't really care about small changes like that. As long as the vibe, the theme is the same, then I will feel like it's a good adaptation. That's Snow, I guess. I knew it, that's Beady. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry so hard. Who's that? Yeah, she looks like Rachel Zegler. A little bit. Ah, the Phone Striker. Oh, so that is Maisley, okay, I think.
I think these games are going to be different.
Okay. November 20th. Okay, so we do have a date. Ah! Okay, wait, I'm so excited. That looks so good. Right away, just first shot through the trailer reaction. Everything they showed us was in the games, pretty much, which I think is really interesting because a lot of Haymitch's book takes place outside of the games, before the games actually happen. But they did something very similar for the original film as well, where in the original book, you spend a lot of time with Katniss before the games, and in the original film, you don't really, and they speed a lot of that up, and you get to the games a lot quicker, and a lot more of the film is the stuff that happens in the games, because that's the action-packed part, right? And so I'm curious to see if they do the same thing, and if we get less time with Haymitch ahead of the games, which I think could be good and bad, depending on what they keep. But they also could have just done that for the trailer. Like, this doesn't necessarily mean that the majority of the film is going to be inside of the games. They potentially are just trying to garner that excitement from people, and this is the exciting part, is the actual games. Anyway, with that, let's go through and do our frame by frame. It's interesting that they have Drusilla on this cart thing. I could see this being for one of two reasons. I could see her having had enough alterations done on herself that she can't move as well anymore, and so she needs to be carted around. But I could also see it to where she's just kind of awful, and this is part of how we're establishing how awful she is. Like, she doesn't even want to walk different places. I could also see it, actually knowing her character, this is kind of a shot in the dark prediction, but maybe it's that she doesn't want to walk on the ground in District 12 because she hates District 12 so much. I don't know. Who's this? Now that I'm thinking about it, did we see Plutarch during the trailer? I'm gonna keep an eye out for him. I remember there being somebody with their crew that was nicer to Haymitch, but then when I started to think about it, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Plutarch. This might be a character they've added, but they're both wearing yellow. How similar does this look to the set they used in the original Hunger Games movie? I bet it's a lot different because they're filming it so many years later. Okay, so this is the first shot we get of the arena, and it's very, very beautiful. And I already kind of went over that. Haymitch's arena is very gorgeous, but everything in it is very deadly. And the first time I watched this, I didn't really understand what this was until they cut closer, and so I feel like they did a really good job with that. And like the top half of the screen is fog. I wonder if that's supposed to kind of represent the ceiling of the arena and give us the indication that this is not actually outdoors.
Twice the number.
Wait, what was that? The Mockingjay call, the beginning of it. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my God. Oh, that just gave me chills. Listen, did you hear that? Listen. It's the Mockingjay call. It's really slow. I'm gonna do it one more time. Listen. So one of the big themes for this book is propaganda and how the few control the many. Not one of the big themes, that is the big theme. And one of the ways that Suzanne Collins plays with that within the book is this idea of the inevitability of the Hunger Games. There's a character, it's not shown in the trailer, but I warned you guys that I was gonna be pulling things from the book so that we could just talk openly about it. There's a character named Luella who dies accidentally as a part of the opening ceremony, that they basically find a random other little girl that kind of looks like her and do a bunch of plastic surgery on her and kind of damage her brain. It's really sad to put her in the games in Luella's place and just die really early, because they don't even want the people of Pan Am to think of death as an escape from the Hunger Games, because then if you're reaped, you can just kill yourself before the actual games as a form of rebellion to like refuse to die in the actual games. They don't want people to use that as a form of rebellion, right? It's very important to the capital that they establish that the Hunger Games are an inevitability. They will always happen. They have always happened, even if that's not true. And for the people of Pan Am to feel like there is no world in which there isn't a Hunger Games. And so the reason why I brought all this up on this shot is because our brains have trouble imagining numbers over 10. So once you get over 10 of something, you have a really hard time picturing it in your mind. So we knew that there were double the amount of tributes, which meant there were 48 tributes going to the Hunger Games, which means 47 of them die. But there's something about seeing this many people and knowing that they're all kids and knowing that only one of them is meant to survive this. Like, it's kind of an overwhelming image when you think of it that way. Another thing that was really played in with this book is we saw the Flint Striker, we'll talk about it later on, but what happens with Haymitch's games is supposed to be the spark that lights the fire that eventually becomes the rebellion that is Katniss's rebellion. And we kind of find out it isn't really Katniss's rebellion, and it didn't happen because of Katniss. They'd been prepping for it for a really long time, and Katniss just came along and gave them the opportunity to execute it. Haymitch's games is their first attempt at doing what they ended up doing with Katniss's Hunger Games. The second one she was in, the one in Catching Fire, the 75th Hunger Games. I also like the color choice, not just because I feel like it bridges that gap between the 10th Hunger Games and the 74th Hunger Games, but also because I feel like it adds to the picturesqueness of this image, and that juxtaposition with how grotesque what's about to happen is part of what was going on with the arena itself. and where it's very picturesque and very deadly at the same time. So that's kind of a fun addition as well. And I like the cornucopia. I like the look of it. It doesn't really look like a cornucopia the way the one in the 74th Hunger Games does. Oh, is that the book cover? Hang on, let me get the book. Do I have it on the shelf? See? Oh, the spikes. And that is, I think, what the cover is. I think we knew that from the book already, but it's cool to see it, and it's cool that they put effort into making it look like that. I paused it on this frame specifically because you can see that this character is going to drop his coat off. In the original trilogy, and in Haymitch's Hunger Games, I think they talk about it, if my memory serves, but maybe not. This shot is making me think maybe not, that there's all these mines surrounding their platforms. So if you step off of the platform before the gong rings, then you'll just get blown up and killed right there. That's how they stop people from running to the cornucopia too early. But this person drops their coat on the ground. And so now I'm wondering, do they have the mines around the platforms in Haymitch's games or not? See, we see it hit the ground and he doesn't get blown up. So I wonder if they don't have the mines. Okay, we got our confirmation from some of the later shots that that's Ambert. He deserves so much better. I'm genuinely not gonna be well watching this film, by the way. The book is so sad. So I wonder if they're gonna make the film less sad. Poor Ambert. I'm gonna say this, I wonder if you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. One of the things that people kind of joked about with the differences between The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping, after the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie came out, there were a lot of people who were lusting after President Snow because the actor who played him is very attractive. And there were people who were saying that how sad Sunrise on the Reaping is Suzanne Collins's reaction to that, because she potentially was so frustrated that people were lusting after Snow when he was supposed to be the bad guy. And so she made him look so evil in this book just to kill anybody lusting after him. Obviously just a crazy fan theory. I bet that's not true, but it's still funny to think about. It is interesting to me that he looks so much like the actor who plays Snow. He is so handsome. I want to talk about the 70s thing again, because I'm trying to remember exactly how they did the costuming in Ballad, because this takes place in a way future America. The Hunger Games does, I mean. So obviously the costuming isn't going to line up exactly to our eras, but I'm wondering if some of the 70s style costuming that we're seeing is supposed to also give us that in-between feel, where if you think about that kind of era, well, actually, hang on a minute, let me think about this, because it's 2025. How long ago was the 70s then? 50 years ago? I guess that doesn't really work. Well, no, because when did the original trilogy come out? The movies were made in the 2010s. So actually it would have been like 40-ish years. Here's where I'm going with this. This is the 50th Quarter Quell. Katniss's first Hunger Games is the 74th Hunger Games. There's 24 years in between them, and I was wondering if there was something to them trying to make it almost look like this happened 24 years ago where we're at now, or 24 years ago in comparison to the first story. Because like I said, they're gonna need to establish more through the setting than through the words of the characters where exactly this is in the chronology, or it's not going to feel natural, right? They can't just tell us it happens in between the Hunger Games. We have to see how it is sitting in between those two eras. And so I'm wondering if the decision to go for a 70s type costuming for the characters is part of that, to give us this like, it happened a while ago, but not so long ago, it's ancient history sort of thing. So I do actually think this is Maisley based off of a shot we saw later. There's two blonde girls, but I'm wondering if she's this one. Then we have the circle of flowers and Haymitch and Lenore Dove shown in the little 08. Wow, it's so beautiful. I wonder if they shot on location. How fun for these actors. Oh, he's holding the necklace in the 07. That's the necklace that the blonde girl that we've already seen was wearing. And so I wonder if that is gonna end up being Maisley, because maybe that's his hands like holding the necklace after she dies. Does she give him her necklace after she dies? Did she have a necklace in the story? Comment if you remember. I don't remember from my read of it if she had a necklace, but I think in these letters we see the necklace. And then who's he walking with there? Is that her? Yeah, I bet the blonde girl with the straight hair is Maisley. I could just look up the actors they cast. I know they put the castings out, but this is way more fun. Oh, and I love this. Oh my god, there's so much to talk about here actually, because I think this is the two of them, because they do work together at points in the games. If you look really close, you can see that one of them is a shorter blonde girl and the other one is a taller guy. So I wonder if this is Haymitch and Maisley. And then the other thing that I really like about this shot is, as I've already mentioned a few times, the games are supposed to be this really beautiful arena that is secretly very deadly. And so I really like that when they mess with the coloring, it looks very barren. This looks almost like a desert. They just cut the shot and they colored this one way differently, but look at how this looks like a barren desert and this looks like a very lush, beautiful space. Like, I love that. I love this. I'm so excited. Oh my God. I feel like this is gonna be so good. Okay, so who's this? Because if I think the other girl is Maisley now, I should just look it up. I should look it up so we get confirmation. That's the first girl, right? Yeah, that's not that girl. Okay. I'm assuming the guy that I kept saying was wearing a 70s costume is the guy from District 1. Yeah, so you know who I bet she is based off of some of the other stuff we're seeing in the trailer, and I bet she's the one from District 2. Is her name Clove? Oh no, that's from the original trilogy, isn't it? What's her name? I should really just look up the casting. Oh, is that Iris? The girl in the yellow from the opening scene? Was that Maya Hawke? Oh, now we need to go back. Okay, we're at a minute in. Is that her? Is that Maya Hawke? That might be Iris. Oh, I kind of like that. They have Karen Culkin playing Caesar Flickerman. Oh my God, I haven't looked at this at all. Wait, I'm really excited. I think that's this girl, Silka. And I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves, she's from District 2 or District 4. And she's one of the more harsh ones. I don't know why I'm consulting the book. That just shows how much of a book research nerd I am. I could just Google it. Oh, she's from District 1, yeah, but she's one of the career tributes. Okay. So then the next guy they show is Wyatt. Okay, I'm pretty sure Wyatt is one of the guys that he works with. So I think this is one of the careers that he ends up fighting against. And this is one of the people he ends up working with. I wonder if these are the other tributes that join their little pack sort of thing that they do to fight against the careers. Who's that? Oh, I wonder if that is Luella or Lulu, because that's like a similar looking girl in the numbers. I already talked about Luella, who they replace after she dies in the opening ceremony. Haymitch calls her Lulu because he wants separation between the two of them. He doesn't want to call her Luella, but he knows if he actually calls her something else in the Capitol will get really mad at him. He calls her Lulu, and so I wonder if we're supposed to see it's kind of like the two different girls maybe. Okay, yeah, that's him and Maisley, and what's here in this? Oh, yeah, people holding up the 3 fingers. That's from the original movie as well. So we're seeing these two from District 12 and then this thing. Yeah, so we see how he kind of gets bodied by this guy. That's why I thought he was the guy from District 1. Okay, so this is clearly President Snow, and he's got his red coat on and his lapel with the white rose. He's looking very snow-like, but he's got quite the look on his face here. I'm wondering if that's the scene where Luella dies, because that's one of the only scenes where Haymitch actually feels like he gets to President Snow, and so I wonder if that's what this scene is. I wonder if that's what's happening on the other side. I wonder if that's Plutarch. Yeah, that's Plutarch back there. That's kind of fun. Is that the only time we see him in the trailer? This music is so good also. The music has always been good for these movies, but that's great. This must be the little flower bed thing that they're trying to get into. Oh my God, I'm literally almost choking up thinking about it. I can't think about him too hard. I just get so sad. He deserves so much better. Yeah, and here's them hugging, I'm assuming goodbye, right before they do what they're about to do. Oh God. I literally think I'm gonna cry through half this movie. I'm not even joking. I bet you that's him running to the end of the arena. I bet that's what this is based off of what he's holding. I bet this is near the end. That's also Plutarch, I'm pretty sure. But he looks so much older in this shot than the other guy I thought was Plutarch, and his hair's longer. Was I wrong about the other guy being Plutarch? That is definitely Plutarch. I might have been wrong about the other guy in the background because this guy's hair is longer. Well, and now he's in District 12. No, but I'm pretty sure Plutarch is there with their crew. He's on the production crew, if my memory serves. And that's where they meet for the first time. I wonder if that's to take these photos. So then why is his hair, am I right that his hair is shorter in the other shot, or am I making that up? Okay, that might not be Plutarch actually. I think I was wrong about that. This is Plutarch. Also, what are the, I haven't even been reading the words on the screen. I should probably go back and read what the trailer's actually saying. Okay, it just says a new era of the games begins. So here's Lenore Dove and all of her goose. Oh God, I'm gonna cry so hard. He's coming up to be sweet to her and she's playing an accordion. I wonder if we're gonna hear her sing the way that we did Rachel Zegler. I just really think she looks like Rachel Zegler, which I think is really fun. I talked about this at length in my review of Sunrise on the Reaping. I went into it thinking we weren't gonna get any update on Lucy Gray from the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes because her whole ending was very ambiguous and that was kind of part of the point. But instead we got this more ambiguous update where we potentially found out what happened to her, but it's kind of up to you what you think happened. Lenore Dove, who Haymitch is in love with, could be Lucy Gray's daughter, but she could also be Maude Ivory's daughter, and we don't know whose daughter she is because she never talks about her mom. And so we still have this ambiguous potential future that Lucy Gray had after The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes ended, but we don't know. And so I think they intentionally cast an actress that has a very similar face shape to Rachel Zegler. It's reasonable to believe, based off the actress that played Lucy Gray, that this is her daughter because they look relatively similar. It's just them being coupled. The Flint Striker! This is the Flint Striker from the cover, that he wears like a necklace and they don't realize it's a Flint Striker. It kind of looks like a bottle opener. I wonder if they're prepping to sell merch of that as a bottle opener. But yeah, she gives him this necklace and he wears it into the arena and it's actually a Flint Striker. And the Capitol doesn't realize that, so we're just seeing that there. Yeah, and then we're seeing him use it as a Flint Striker. I'm assuming this is his younger brother. Yeah, and then we see him use it to light this, and that is Lulu. Okay, so that must be the girl with the braids that he was walking with earlier. This is Effie. So they have Elle Fanning playing Effie. And her costuming is fascinating here because she has the yellow on her necklace, but she's wearing blue in a lot of these other places. And this person behind her is wearing a very vivid blue, my goodness. I've already said that Effie kind of represents this shift in the mindset of the people of the Capitol to do with the Hunger Games, where Drusilla and all of the people who remember the dark days have this anger and this resentment towards the districts that the people born afterwards just don't have because they don't remember the suffering. And so in order for the Capitol to keep those people in agreement of all of the horrors of the Hunger Games, they shift the narrative surrounding the Hunger Games from being a punishment for the original rebellion and the districts fighting against the Capitol during the dark days and all of that, to that this is necessary for peace in Pan Am and to prevent another rebellion. And so like I said, Effie more views the tributes as martyrs and sacrifices to peace in Pan Am, and she doesn't really hate them the way that Drusilla hates them. So she has that vivid yellow on her necklace, but she's wearing blue in a lot of the rest of her costume. And so I wonder if we're gonna see that blue become important in the costuming. He successfully blows up part of the arena and survives that and then ends up being the winner. And so maybe they're walking through the generator thing that he blew up. Yeah, that's definitely Maisley. Wait, he has a vest on here. He didn't have a vest on when he was with Luella. I wonder what that's about. Yeah, this is definitely leading up to the end. I guess I won't say in case you don't remember. I don't really need to. If you remember the ending, then it's very clear why this is leading up to the ending. Yeah, so they made District 1 this yellow color. That's interesting, because Drusilla was wearing yellow, and so was Ryrus, and she was with the Capitol at that point in time, but she had the white jacket over it, so I wonder if we're supposed to view her as 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I don't know. But they gave the District 1 tributes that yellow color that's a more muted version of the Capitol yellow, which is this very vivid yellow. That's supposed to show their alignment with the Capitol, I think, and they get preferential treatment because of that.
And just to really hammer home this point that maybe the yellow and the blue, especially when we were looking at Effie, are supposed to be the different generations of the Capitol citizens and what their opinions are on the Hunger Games. If you look at the cornucopia shot right behind her, as I was talking about this, you can see that the cornucopia has that yellow and also has that blue on it that were both of the colors that Effie was wearing. So we see how there might be these different opinions amongst the Capitol citizens as to why the Hunger Games is important and why they want it. And the new era of the Capitol citizens maybe doesn't mean as ill to the districts as the old era does, but both of them are still complicit in the Hunger Games still happening. I don't know. I could be jumping to huge conclusions, but I just noticed that when I was editing.
This is him opening the thing to blow it up. Yeah, so there's this fight sequence between him and this guy who was kind of viewed as the favorite, I think, to win. Okay, now what's this about? So this is clearly at the reaping. She's drinking champagne. That's weird because she really hates District 12, and so she doesn't enjoy going there to do the reaping. God, they made her look so freaky. I don't think we're supposed to glean much from this. They're just fighting. I don't even know who that is that he's fighting. Oh God. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, this is at the end. This is when his house burns down, and that must be Lenore Dove. Yeah, that must be him realizing that the candy, like I wonder if that's him looking at the candy and realizing what it is.
I think these games are gonna be different.
So the thing that's interesting to me about that is that sounded like Woody Harrelson's voice. Is the actor who plays Haymitch, is he going to imitate Woody Harrelson's voice? Or did they just have Woody Harrelson record a voiceover for the trailer just to tie it back to the original? Or is it not Woody Harrelson at all and I'm crazy? Oh God, it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm so excited. November 20th next year, mark your calendars. I'm so excited. Having watched this, I mean, I knew it was gonna be good. One of the things that stayed consistent throughout the Hunger Games books to movies is that the movies typically are very good because Suzanne Collins has experience screenwriting. And my understanding is that she usually is heavily involved in the adaptation projects. She understands screenwriting as well as book writing. So I haven't really ever, I think, been disappointed by one of the Hunger Games films. I know some people don't like that they split the last one into two, but I don't really care. That was kind of a thing at the time. I'm just so excited. It's gonna be so good. I can't believe we have to wait a whole year. And yeah, literally dropped a year to the day of when the actual film comes out. If they drop more trailers that give us more to talk about, then I'll definitely do more of these as time goes on, because this was just the teaser trailer. Because I have a lot of fun doing these, and I hope you guys have fun watching them. Let me know what all of your predictions are gonna be. Let me know how excited you are in the comments. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!